I just do want to start out the conversation by saying thank you to the stakeholders that we engaged with yesterday here across the hall. From 4 to 5, there were several of us here in our offices present. Several of you in the audience were there as well. I think it was a very good discussion. And I think at the end of the day, what I wanted us to have is a lot of different ideas and takes on it, sitting together and talking in a very calm and deliberate manner. And I think we all walked away with some new information on that and possibly some new partnerships, regardless of what happens today. But I do want to say I think this is a good thing. I think this is an opportunity where it's a this and that approach. There's a carrot and a stick approach to this. If we look at our SHIP that we adopted many, many years ago, page 27 says, Texas law allows landlords to turn down applications on the basis that they are using a housing voucher. However, the state does allow cities to prohibit this at city-funded properties or for veterans who apply at any property within the city limits. That's a very narrow window the state gives us to add anti-discrimination efforts, which I think is actually pretty rare that the state would give us that opportunity. So I say that we work on this, get this to council, get a lot of feedback, and pass it. I think this is a package deal. The stick approach that we're working on now with the things that Councilwoman Castillo is talking about, with the REACH committee that is working with Opportunity Home to streamline their process and make it easier for folks to do that. So I think it is a comprehensive toolbox that we're looking at, and this just happens to be the stick in the toolbox. But with that, we will start our council conversation. Do any council members wish to? Thank you. We'll continue with the conversation. I'll just add that I think this ordinance is going into the, you look at the different buckets, inputs and outputs buckets versus the outcome. So we obviously want to influence the outcome of this process, but this is not going to mandate, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, it's not going to mandate that someone must take a voucher holder. It's simply asking that you give someone the chance to apply for it. So Veronica, can you kind of walk us through that?
Yes, so they are not going to be forced, other than they cannot at the onset say, I don't accept vouchers. So they would have to consider the voucher and evaluate the prospective tenant against all their other leasing criteria that they may have.
Right, so you could also, through this process, educate and then fine. Proactive apartment inspection is a great, example, right? We ask them, you have this process that's due, you have this timeline that's due, work with us if you can complete it, and if not, you will be fined. So is that a similar process that you could implement with this ordinance?
Yes, and that's exactly what we do with the existing housing choice incentive voucher policy. We start with any violations are investigated. If there is a violation, we mandate a training. There is no fine or fee at the beginning, but if there were to be repeat instances, we would consider that.
So that's already underway with the housing choice voucher.
Right, policy.
And has there been any fees assessed through that ordinance?
No, there is not.
How long has that ordinance been in effect?
2021.
Okay, so a few years. Okay, I just wanted to add that it reminds me of, ban the box, right? Where we're saying if you have a criminal record, you're still allowed to apply for the job and go through the process. It's giving somebody a chance. So I think that's a very similar analogy to this, right? You're just giving somebody the chance who has a VASH or a veteran with a voucher of any type, the opportunity to apply for something.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, thank you. We'll continue with council discussion. Anybody else have? No, I appreciate this moving to full council. I don't necessarily agree with the starting off at 5, listings or more. I think anytime there's a denial based on a voucher for applying is one too many times, especially when it talks about our veteran population. However, this is very, very important ordinance to continue. There is a fee attached now, as it's being recommended with some warning education. So while I do have pause about the requirement about 5 or more properties, I will be supportive of this going to full council. Any other questions or concerns?